Good evening, everybody. Welcome in to Coach's Corner East at the Galion Pizza Hut. I am your host, Mike Sparks, on this Wednesday, the 10th of August, 1 week away from really fall sports kicking in with football season starting next week. But we're 1 week away from football. We're talking volleyball tonight as well as golf. So we will get that here in just a little bit. Show is brought to you in part by the Burkhart family at the Burkhart Farm Center, your Case IH dealer. Straight west of Galion on the New Winchester Road, Mike Klein at Ag Credit Residential Lending, Bucyrus, Mount Gilead, and Marion. Sweet Baby Ray Jones and Kendra Weaver at Ohio Door and Sash, 120 South Street in Galion, and Mark Osborne at Crane International, Route 598 at the north edge of Galion. As I mentioned, coming up a little later in the show, it'll be volleyball from Galion High School. It'll be Whitney Booth and her teammates here. Prior to that, we'll have both the boys and the girls golf team from Colonel Crawford. They will be here to talk about how their seasons, which have already started, we'll talk to them about that. And we're going to start the game tonight with volleyball from Galion High School, and it's Kathleen Davis and members of her squad here. And Coach Davis, thanks for coming tonight. I certainly appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
And by the looks of the girls, it was practice just ended, right?
Practice just ended, so they're a little tired, hopefully.
Well, that's a good thing, but hopefully hungry and hopefully ready to talk prior to that.
Yes.
Coming off your first year at Galion last year, 15-8 overall, 10-4 in the MOAC, which by most accounts isn't a bad year, but maybe for Galion, the year prior to that was a little better, a little deeper into the playoffs. But you did blank Clear Fork in the sectional semi before falling to number 4 seed Bellevue in the sectional final 3-1. And really a young team. You look at sophomore Ashley Dyer, first team MOAC, second team Division II, District 6, 307 kills, 20 aces, 44 blocks, 25 assists, 284 receptions, made pie when she had time, all that other good stuff. Senior Addie Monk, first team MOAC, third team Division II, District 6, freshman Jillian Caprera, second team MOAC, junior Ella Payne, honorable mention MOAC. And were honorable mention selections to the Division II, District 6. You lose 4 seniors from last year's team, Addie Monk, Kayla Carroll, Emma Jutes, and Daniel Felder. But you don't look at it, I'm sure, as a rebuilding year, do you?
No, we looked more as last year as our rebuilding year. The year before that, we graduated a lot of seniors, a lot of core seniors. So last year was more of our rebuilding. This year, we basically have all of our starters back except for Addie, who was the libero. So we're pretty excited going into this season, and we have high expectations for ourselves.
With so many coming back, that obviously means that a lot of these girls got a ton of varsity experience last year, albeit some of them were pretty young.
Yeah, I think everybody that's going to see court time this year has seen a little bit of varsity time sometime in their career so far. So we're all pretty excited to get on the floor a little bit more. I know some of them are more excited to be in the lineup more than just kind of the backup. So.
Sure. What did last year teach you as a first-year coach at Galion? I'm sure a lot of things, right?
Well, our biggest thing for us was always changing the environment in the gym and trying to have that more positive environment and kind of building on top of that. Last year was kind of one of our things of we wanted to become one family. We wanted to make sure that we support each other in good times and in bad times. And I think we did really well with that last year. And going into this year, we already have that environment. So it's exciting to see how much else we're going to grow and everything else.
Yeah, very good. So taking a look at this year coming up, you do return top 6 hitters, a setter, and some key defensive players. Senior Ella Payne is a setting machine, 711 last year along with 307 digs, 31 aces. Kayla Caprera, 26 aces. Kayla Young and Reagan Ivy round out the upperclassmen. Juniors, Ashley Dyer, Kayla Young, those two combined for nearly 500 kills last season. Miranda Stone, Jordan Roderick will add some depth. And then sophomores, Jillian Caprera, Madeline Schieber, third on the team in kills. Audrey Glue and Cameron Eckert are going to add depth. So when you look at this whole program, 9 through 12, what are you talking about as far as numbers in the program?
We have more numbers this year than we did last year, so we're pretty excited about that. Definitely into junior high. We struggled last year. We had 6, and then I think we got up to like 10 maybe on either team. And we have a strong 7th grade team coming out. I think we have about 12 or 13 now, so we're pretty excited with the numbers and getting more people interested in the sport again and trying to get those younger kids more involved.
Good. Last year I mentioned you fell to Bellevue, really strong girls athletic program, certainly in basketball, but volleyball as well. I think the year prior was Ottawa Glandorf in the distance at a regional, semi-regional final, one of those two. This year you dropped down to Division III, the competitive balance. That has to help you and have a great outlook for you and your team from a tournament standpoint, correct?
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty excited. We prepared all off season to be in the D2 and to be able to compete in that D2 and get further. Now that we dropped down to D3, we're just going to see ourselves succeed. It's the point of our whole season is to get further than last year, to make sure that we get as far as we can at all times, but our focus is on one game at a time. We're not going to focus on the end result. We're going to focus one game at a time, and we're going to get through that. Bellevue is our first game this season, so we're ready to come out and ready to hopefully take the W this time.
Yeah, a little revenge factor. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. Take a break before we talk to the girls. Our show is brought to you in part by Lee Plymouth and Brad Seibert at the Plymouth Insurance Group, Galion of Bucyrus, North Central State College, Mansfield, and the Crawford Success Center, North Walnut Street, across from the courthouse in Bucyrus. Phil and Sue Schreck at Phil's Deli, just east of the Pizza Hut at the bridge here in Galion, and John Rolls at John's Auto Repair Specialist, 800 Scott Street in Crestline. First up, we have senior Ella Payne, and really nice year last year. Congratulations on that. But now you're heading into your senior year, and I mentioned you're a setting machine, 711 sets. So that's really it takes, I would think, I'm not a volleyball player, but I would think it takes a lot of accuracy to get it where your hitters want it. How much communication is there during practice and during the games with your hitters? Say, put it right here. You know, it's kind of like a baseball player, softball. I want it right here.
Yeah, there's a lot. After every set, the hitter's like, I need it higher, I need it lower, I need it further out. So it's constant communication.
Yeah. Do you feel pretty comfortable now in your senior year with that many sets, successful sets, that, yeah, I feel real good. I know where each individual hitter really wants it.
Yeah, I feel like I know them all pretty well.
Okay. Your last year here, it's always big. Seniors, it's a huge thing. Goes so quickly. What have you done here in the off-season to kind of prepare for an outstanding senior season for you?
I guess just the Ashland League, the summer league that we do has helped us a lot and play the teams that we don't normally play, so we get different competition.
Yeah.
And I guess we just try to have fun while we can.
I know the answer, it's always a pretty common answer to win as many games as possible, but have you set kind of some team goals that you would like to accomplish with this group?
My biggest goal is to beat Bellevue because I've never beaten Bellevue in 4 years I've played.
Yeah, well, you don't have to wait much longer. It's coming really, really soon. Well, good luck. Enjoy your senior season, and thanks for coming out tonight. Sophomore is Jillian Caprera, and welcome to the show. And last year you played a lot as a freshman, so you go from junior high to varsity, and it's probably shell-shock time and the speed and the intensity of the game. How is that, going through that, how has that made you better in preparation for this year?
I feel like now that I've gotten used to it, I can help my team better and try to speed up and be faster than any of the other teams that I've seen. So that way we can win more games.
Yeah, that's it. What position are you on the team?
I'm a middle.
You're a middle. And your responsibility is what?
Mostly blocking. I mean, if we have a good enough pass, I do my best to try and get a kill, but mostly blocking.
Mostly blocking, okay. So more of a defensive role.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you got to see some pretty interesting places last year as a freshman. Other than your home gym, what was your favorite place to play last year?
I liked Perkins.
All right. What did you like about it?
It was big. I don't know. I just like it. I like the atmosphere.
Good. Real good. Well, have a great, successful sophomore season. Thanks for coming out. I hope you get a ton of walks this year. Next up, it's sister, Kayla Young, a senior, and welcome to the show. I appreciate you coming. And your position on the team?
I'm a DS.
Oh, a what? Say that again.
It's defensive specialist.
Defensive. Okay, talk about. So this is different than the libero. Is that correct?
Yeah, so the libero is, the one in the different color jersey. They stay in the back row the whole time. A DS is usually like left or right back. It can be middle back, but usually you're subbing for one hitter and you only play half the rotation.
I see. So you stay in that spot. You don't get to choose what side you're going on based on offense or anything like that. You kind of stay where you're asked to stay.
It depends really on who we're playing and who's on the court. So like we'll switch it up depending on who's in the back row with you, or who we're playing. Like if we needed a stronger person in left back, we move somebody there. If we needed somebody stronger in middle back, then we move there.
Okay. And so you're looking at a lot of digs and things like that. Is that correct? All right. So you're getting down there trying to get the ball before it hits the floor and get it to your setter and eventually to your kill person. Correct. All right. So kind of the same thing I talked to Ella about. The senior year it's always special, regardless of the sport or regardless of the extracurricular that you're in. What are some goals that have you set for yourself this year?
I just want to be a more approachable senior, and I want to leave behind a program that's fun for everybody and just people like to play for. Yeah, that's such a great thing. I mean, everybody leads differently. Some are more vocal, some are more by example. What would you say yours is more? I would say I'm more by example. I'm not as vocal as I could be. I should be more vocal, but I would say I'm more leading by example. Yeah, good. Well, maybe something you could work on, because that's always something after school you're going to need to use probably somewhere down the line. So. Well, enjoy your senior season. I appreciate you coming out. Good luck to you. Next up, it is Jordan Roderick, a junior, and position that you're playing on the team, Jordan?
I'm a right side hitter.
Right side hitter. Okay, so you're expecting Ella to get it right where you want it, and you probably talk to her in practice and say, "I want it right here." And I think of volleyball as, of course, a physical because you're moving around, but there's a ton of communication at volleyball, isn't there? Talk about that a little bit.
Oh God.
Here we're talking about communication. She's lost her words.
Yeah, we do struggle with it sometimes.
Yeah.
But when we communicate more, we play better and we have more fun.
Yeah.
But if we don't communicate at all, we usually lose. Like we do.
Yeah, no, that's good.
And I don't know. It's just...
Do you ever get on the point with your teammates where you just kind of think, we don't really even have to communicate as much. We're in such a flow right now that we're kind of feeding off each other that the communication doesn't have to be intense. Does that happen sometimes?
Yeah. But we still should talk no matter what we feel.
Yeah, for sure. How do you feel about the fact that you lose to Bellevue in the tournament last year? You're going to get them right out of the rip, right to go. Maybe still a little scab needs to be peeled off. How do you feel about that?
Oh.
I don't think they can get the show up in Bellevue, so you can say whatever you want.
Have we gone to 5 with them the last year? We've gone to 5.
We've gone to 5
in
in
like
like
5
5
with them.
Oh, okay.
So if we can go to 5 again and we can win if it's set, we should be.
Yeah, very good. Well, good luck. Enjoy it. Have fun. Next up, Kayla Young is a junior. Hi, Haley. How are you? Good. Position on the team? Middle. Okay. Blocking too?
Yeah.
Okay, so you were blocking with Miss Caprera as well. Takes a lot of muscular strength, I imagine, in the legs. Are there certain workouts that you have to do to kind of get stronger to be able to do that? Or?
Yeah, we do a lot of box jumps just so we increase our vertical so we can get over the net.
Yeah. How have you gotten better, as a junior compared to your sophomore year? What are some things that you've done and how have you gotten better?
I play at club, so I think club really helps me because I see better competition there and
Yeah.
it helps me.
Yeah, for sure. I understand that. And, when you look at the MOAC, it's just tough competition all over. Who do you see as your toughest competition in the MOAC this year?
I think River Valley.
Okay. Yeah. Good rival too, right?
Yeah.
Right, just down the road. Maybe not like Ontario or Shelby, but still, every time I talk to Galion, it's like Ontario, Shelby. Those are always the two big ones. But well, good luck. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. And we have Reagan Ivy as a senior. And Reagan, thank you for coming. And position that you're on the team?
I play right side.
Right side? Okay. And you had a really nice year last year. Now into your senior year. Has it gone fast? Have those 4 years gone fast for you?
Honestly, not really. People always say it goes fast, but For me, it's kind of drag because of COVID and everything I haven't
Yeah.
done in 4 years that's been going on in high school. So
Yeah, and if we were to talk here, probably in about 8 to 10 weeks, you would say, wow, that went really fast. The senior year really does go fast. So you really have to take it all in. Kind of the back of the leadership that I was talking to Kai about. How do you lead? Are you more vocal, or are you?
I'm definitely a more vocal person than anything else.
How is this team kind of wrapped their arms around these incoming freshmen that are probably deer in the headlights and like, I have no idea what I'm doing? How have you dealt with them as a senior group?
As a senior group, we just make sure that we're always either with a younger person or have 2 or 3 in our group, just to kind of show them the ropes and how everything happens, how every drill goes, how you're supposed to call the ball, how you're supposed to play.
Yeah, it's important because you're building the foundation for what they're going to follow, just as the seniors way before you did for you, hopefully. So, well, that's really good. Well, I appreciate you coming out. Good luck to you. Enjoy your season. Kayla Young is back and as a senior, and here we are, last time to go around for this. Are you excited for it to begin? Practice hasn't been going on that long, about a week since it officially started. Are you done with practice? Let's get to the games. Let's go.
I mean, yeah, kind of. I'm kind of ready to play, but I love practice. I love going in and working out every day.
That's great attitude, because some people, they're just like, I'm just going to show up and punch my ticket, but on game day I'm really going to show up. But that's really what makes the difference.
Yeah.
So many coaches have said, and maybe your coach has said, you play like you practice. Have you ever heard that? Have you ever shared that? If you only go half speed in practice, you're probably only going to go half speed in the game. You can't really turn it on and off. You got to bring the intensity. Your favorite part about the game that you're just, whether you go on to play after or not, what are you going to miss about it the most?
The competition and just everybody that's here.
Mm-hmm.
I love the team. They're great people. I love being around them.
That's good. I sense you have this feeling of team over self, don't you? And that's important. Not everybody does. We're in a society that really is self-promoting. Not present company intended or anything, but we have self-promoting society to some extent. And when you can sacrifice that for the betterment of the team, you got a really winning thing. So good luck. Enjoy your senior season. Finally, Ashley Dyer is a junior, and I got to believe you're a hitter too, right? Would that be a pretty educated guess? Yeah. Yeah. And you had quite a few for sure, and first team MOAC and second team district. Is there a goal to be all Ohio? Is that kind of in your sights that you want to, or do you say, that'll take care of itself, I just do what I do?
I definitely want to make it to All Ohio, but
A lot of work to do. Okay. Where have you improved from your sophomore year to now?
I think I've definitely improved on defense. I've been trying to focus on it.
You've been doing what coach tells you to do?
Yep.
Yeah, because, hey, we love your offense, but can you give us a little more defense? Have you heard that before? Sometimes? Maybe all. So what would be, winning the MOAC, I'm sure, is the first thing. What do you really want to accomplish this year?
I really want to beat Bellevue.
Yeah, okay.
Because they need beat.
Yeah. They need to get their comeuppance.
It's been like 15 years.
Yeah.
And I really just need to go down.
Yeah.
I hope that it's on my birthday. So
Yeah, pretty soon. 2 weeks from yesterday? Yeah,
It's the 23rd. It's
23rd.
next Tuesday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Next. No.
it's
Yeah.
not Tuesday.
2 weeks from yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, you'll get your chance. So good luck to you. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it. Before we get back to coach, our show is brought to you in part by Steve Kurtzman Associates at Innovative Recycling, 352 South Street, Galion. Coach Kim Plumley at Mohegan Sports Medicine in Bucyrus, and John Cross at Cross Carpet and Custom Floors, 302 North Seltzer Street, downtown Crestline. Back to Coach Kathleen Davis, and Coach, you scrimmage Berlin Highland, Lexington, Smithville on Monday. How did that go?
We scrimmaged them this upcoming.
Oh, you do this upcoming October.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
this past Saturday we scrimmaged Cardington, Fairbanks, and Marysville.
Okay.
So,
Did well?
Yeah, we did pretty well. Ashley couldn't play this weekend, so we had a player out, but the rest of the girls really stepped up and played as a team, and I think we learned a lot about ourselves and kind of what we really need to focus on, and we found our weak points and what we really need to work on.
Sounds as if the girls are kind of ready for August 23rd. A little road trip up to northern Huron County to get a little payback. And that's good. I mean, that certainly, some will say, well, I just want to beat River Valley or I want to win the Emma. They are laser focused in. That doesn't come by accident, does it? That's been kind of talked to with your coaching staff in practices, hasn't it?
Yeah, coming into the season, we knew the seniors have never beat Bellevue since they started in 7th grade. So we knew that was kind of one of their goals for sure this season, is that's one thing that they want to get through. And now that we're not D2, we won't see them in tournament time.
Right.
So this first game is one of our big ones, and we're hardcore focused on it. And like I said before, we're going to focus on one game at a time, and we're going to take each game plan out, and we're going to try to do it to the T.
Well, you and Kyle Baum certainly loaded up the schedule at Margaretta versus Crestview, who's had great volleyball programs, versus Willard, versus Monroeville, who's a D4 powerhouse, at Northmore, at Winford, and at Buckeye Central. So you certainly loaded it up on top of the MOAC. That's obviously done by intention to get these girls ready for tournament and a deep tournament run. Certainly appreciate you coming out. Wish all of you the best of luck and have a successful season. And beat Redmond, right? Beat the Red women, so to speak. Take a break. We're going to come back and tee it off with Colonel Crawford golf teams right after this timeout.